Welcome to the Real Estate Debate, where we debate the hottest topics in San Diego real estate. Let's meet today's panelists. Sam Rasoul, President of Rasoul Group at Keller Williams, Frederick Remick, owner and partner of San Diego Realty Brokers, Billy Colestock, Realtor of Keller Williams La Jolla, and Johnny Perez, broker and realtor.
Thank you all so much for being here. Really appreciate your time today as we, of course, debate the hottest topics in San Diego real estate. Topic number one, we're going to jump right into it. Tell us why you agree or disagree and why. Sam, we'll start with you. Home sellers who price their homes too high will pay the price, even in a hot market like this.
Pay the price. That sounds a little rough. I'm going to go with no. I do not
Disagree.
agree with that. I disagree. Why? I think there's the market can be really forgiving when it's going up. You know, I've seen the market catch sellers, and I've seen them catch my sellers. I've had sellers list high, and within a month or two, it catches them. You know, and all of a sudden they're right on the spot, and bang, we get offers.
So you think we're in that kind of market right now?
I think we're in that kind of market. But if we change, I will say I think the market is horribly unforgiving on the way down.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
So do you think the strategy right now is then to price your home above the market?
No, I think you should always try to price your home at the market. It'll increase the odds of getting multiple offers, and if you're a skosh low, you're going to get bid up anyway, and you'll beat the market.
Okay. Billy, what do you think?
So it's all about motivation for somebody who's going to get their home on the market. So if your motivation is that you want to just tap into that top dollar, but you don't mind a longer market time, then of course you can stretch the market a bit. You can't go much more than 3% over what's selling in the area, or you just won't see any offers. So you do have to price it at the market.
So you disagree then? That home sellers who overprice will pay the price?
Yeah, they're going to pay the price in the long term if they don't get the home, if they don't price it properly up front. I mean,
So you agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Back and forth.
I'm messing with you.
Right. No, you got to have the.
He's agreeing to disagree.
You've got to have the property priced at the market so that you're going to sell.
Johnny Real Estate, isn't it scorched earth when you overprice a home?
It really is. It really is. You know, the last thing a seller wants to do is chase the market. You do not want to chase the market in any landscape of any market that you're in. A seller does not want to. 85 to 90% of our buyers are online shopping. Those first 30 days are make it or break it. You want to come out, open house extravaganza. There's a beautiful property on the market. You want to price it just right. I always say price it aggressively, but effectively, according to how the market dictates it.
Okay, and how do you determine that right list price? Is that based on what's sold previously, so the past essentially?
Correct, yes. We're going to take a look at what's, because at the end of the day, the appraiser's going to come back out, and I might be able to get you more for your house, but that appraiser may just slam us down. So we definitely want to look at the last comparables, and of course, any and all upgrades the property has.
Okay, that makes sense. Frederick?
Market time is your enemy. I will say that. So overpricing your house is probably the worst thing you can do, in my opinion. It's something most sellers do initially, and unfortunately you end up 30, 45, 60 days into the listing period, and then you have to reduce it. But what you run off is those initial buyers, and in the first couple weeks the best buyers come out because they're the people who have been looking at that particular niche you're in. They come on strong, they write offers, but if you overprice, you run them off, and they're not really looking at your property anymore after 60 or 90 days. They've moved on to the new properties that have hit the market. So
it's almost like ego steps in a little bit.
Yeah.
When I say scorched earth, what I mean by that is like if you see a house, and I've done this as a buyer before.
Sure.
You see a house and you go, okay, I saw that last year for like $50,000 more. Now it's back on the market. It's almost like you don't even want to look at it.
Right.
Yep.
Even though that's ridiculous, and it might be a good deal.
It may be a good deal, but the buyer still looks at it. Like you said, 90 days on the market. What's wrong with the house?
Right.
Why hasn't it sold? Is the
That's
seller
the biggest
motivated?
question.
Is there a foundation problem? Is the hillside going to collapse? What's really going on with the home?
People start to question whether they even saw the house or not, and whether they just have a perception of the house. It's been on the market for too long. Something's got to be wrong with it.
I think these guys aren't focused on an important part of that question. I mean, the big part of that question was a hot market. Now, in a hot market, when we're talking a hot market, I believe that the market will catch somebody if they're a little overpriced. And there are other variables too, like you're talking about. If you've got a house that's really unique, and it's that one house that's on the corner, it's got the view, or it's got the whatever, that not all the other homes have, and they're a little above the market, they're going to be okay.
Yeah. Well, what about, okay, so it's a hot market, but buyers aren't used to making offers under list. right, in this market. In fact, they're usually coached that, hey, we're going to have to come in very strong
Right.
at list, maybe above, remove contingency. We have to do some things in order to get in the mix.
Yeah.
So I think buyers just, the idea of making an offer is sort of off the table in this market. I mean, it's I don't hear of people going out and saying, I know you have it listed for $650, I'll give you $590. I just don't
Right.
see that happening in this marketplace. So I think that makes it even more dangerous to potentially overprice your house, in my opinion.
I agree. Yeah. And I mean, we have a case point right now. We have a place up in Escondido. It's kind of an estate home. It's really worth about 1.3. We're listed at 1.5. We've been on the market 45 days, and we've had 6 viewings.
No offers?
No offers.
See, and I don't think anyone's going to offer you one, too.
Correct.
Or,
Correct.
you know, they're not going to do it.
And the other thing too, you got to remember too, is people. It's in our nature to want to work with somebody because it is a relationship when you get into this business relationship when you write an offer with a seller. So you want to know that this person has flexibility. They're going to be reasonable. You can work through issues. So if the first thing they see is, hey, these people are inflexible, it's not a good sign for the transaction moving forward, and turns off a lot of buyers.
And dear sellers, by the way, it's not a lowball offer necessarily.
Right.
It's what a buyer's willing to pay in
Yeah.
today's market. And
Correct.
today, for
A
your
market
home.
offer is a market offer.
Let me
Yep.
ask you guys this. So it seems like I'm the only one that's on the other side of this. How do we move the market up? And I'll answer it myself. Somebody takes that risk.
Sure.
There's somebody in a market, that says, you know what, I'm going to push the envelope. I'm going to go a little higher in my value range. Maybe they're going to push the top a little higher, and all of a sudden that guy, wow, man, we can't believe that one sold.
Sure.
Right? Or that
Sure.
guy
And
took
if
the
we're in that
risk.
type of market,
Which we are.
we're getting there. You're going to get the price driven up by multiple offers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
the
if you're
bank-
listed at 800,000 and I have 5 offers, I'm
Yeah.
at 850.
The
And I have
banks
no
taught
hesitation.
us. The banks taught us that if we cannot underprice a property.
Cannot.
We
I
can
totally
always
agree.
overprice the
Yeah.
property.
Yeah.
We can. I mean,
good point.
we if we put it at $499 and it's really worth $525, the buyers are going to tell us
They're going to dictate it.
that it's $525 or more
Don't
because
you wish
somebody's
we
going
could
to get
convince
into
our
it.
sellers to do that? Just price it 20% below market and watch the offers just come piling in. It'll go right back up anyway.
It'd
Yeah.
be crazy. I mean, isn't that the best practice strategy for listing a home? Like a few
I agree.
percent under market
Sure.
value?
But there's too much emotion involved for the normal seller. It's emotion. For the banks, there's no emotion. It's an asset manager.
Well, we're
who
lucky here.
sets
We
the
have
price
value
and
ranges
moves
here
on.
in San Diego.
Yes.
And we're one of the only markets that has that. So what we're able to do is say, okay, our house is worth 5.25, but we want to hit that under 500 increments. We go 499 to 549, for example. And maybe even though it's worth 5.25, we get a 540 offer because of that range. That's one way that we can kind of get
the
people
market.
in the door, and push
Yeah,
the market
push the
up.
market up.
And
Exactly.
you push the market at the same
Yeah,
time.
because we know we're short of inventory out here in
Yeah.
San Diego. I mean, we're down to less than 3 months supply now. If that,
Mm-hmm.
in certain
I think it's
areas,
2
even
months.
less. I mean, I'm seeing condos that aren't even on the market longer than 15 days right now.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, the prices are going to drive up, and the buyers are going to dictate, and they're going to compete.
Yeah.
Especially in the lower price points. I mean, to give you an
Absolutely.
example, we just shot the first episode of Win This Listing, which is a reality show that we're doing. And when they found out that we were there shooting the home, a lot of people around started saying, what are you guys doing here? What's going on? Oh, well, they're selling the place. We're doing a reality show. 2 unsolicited offers.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and that's just in a small complex. Maybe 10 people live there.
Right.
2 unsolicited offers came in.
Wow.
So that really tells you something. I mean, that really, really tells you something. First of all, we have a shortage of what we would call affordable inventory, stuff under 600.
Right.
Correct.
FHA range stuff. Really short on that. But who's going to build that? As far as the builders are concerned, who's going to build?
They're not going to build that.
No, are they gonna
no
build
one's-
500?
no one's
Not
building
going to be
that.
able to make any money on that.
No, they're going to have to build $700,000 and
Yep.
$800,000
Yeah.
houses. So there's your driver. It's the new construction coming in, new developments coming in, recreating everything.
Right.
And there's not a lot of it going on. Certain areas there is, but not a lot of it going on. But when you see that come in, like downtown's going to get turned upside down by the specific
Oh,
gate
yeah.
thing. 1,000
There was-
square foot.
There was $90 million worth of property sold in the first weekend.
First weekend alone. Yes.
Yeah.
First weekend alone.
Isn't that
That's
crazy?
amazing.
Where's the money coming from? Who's I don't know, man, but it's San Diego and it comes here. The money comes here. It comes from all over the world and it comes here. And that's why I don't know if there's any end to this necessarily. I mean, you can look at all sorts of stats. We just talked about some stats just a few minutes ago about, debt to income ratios going up. The average debt to income ratios on loans is going up a lot. Are people at the end of what they can afford? Are they just maxed out now? But no matter how we talk about what we say, what goes on, still cash transactions happen in the $1 million marketplace every day, and money just keeps coming in.
And I think what'll protect our market this time, as opposed to in '07, is there's a lot of equity in the market this time. Most of the buyers,
True.
are buying with 20% down or 30% down. So we can tolerate a little correction without people panicking.